morning, guys. This is Prisha, your host for the podcast today. And here with us, we have the Darpan winners who left us in awe with their dedication, discipline, hard work, and passion. Team Dhriti. Dhriti symbolizes stillness. Their aspiration was to embody that serenity amidst the beautiful yet demanding competition, Darpan. All they aimed for was to assemble a team of passionate dancers who embraced the values of Dhriti, hard work, persistence, and a profound love for the craft. They truly believe they accomplished just that. They've built a team of dancers who are utterly devoted to dance, pouring their heart and soul into every movement. Furthermore, they hold the belief that victory is a natural outcome of the exquisite journey of hard work. Every achievement within their team is a testament to their philosophy. What makes the team truly special, though, is that throughout this journey, they've not only discovered fellow dancers, but also kindred spirits and friends who will accompany them not only through college, but also throughout lifetime. This is what Dhriti represents and continues to stand for. With that, shall we begin with the interview? Sure. The first question is, since you're a team of 4 to 5 people in a big group, have you ever had conflicts with a fellow dancer? And if so, what happened and how were you able to resolve the matter?
Okay, I don't think we have had conflicts on a bigger scale as such. We've all been very sure about how the team works as a team and not as a group of individual dancers. So I think that was ingrained in everybody for that matter. And we've always made sure that obviously there will be conflicts arising, that is inevitable. But whenever it has been there, we have made sure we resolve it in the most healthiest way possible. We have always spoken to each other about it. If anyone has something that they have in mind which might not resonate with the others on the group, we all come together and speak about it. We also have team bonding sessions, very specifically to make sure that conflicts don't end up in a way where, one person is feeling bad by the end of the day, or there is some sort of, something holding back from the group. So I think we've had conflicts, not major ones, but we've also been able to resolve it in a very nice way.
That is so great. How many hours do you practice, considering you might all have very busy schedules? And if somebody gets injured, how do you manage all of that?
Wow. So, about injury, I think she will speak. Yes. But the number of hours of practice, I think it's just very strenuous because some of us stay really far away from college, some of us literally stay in the campus, and for each of us it's different to manage things, to be able to come together for practice because it's teamwork, everybody has to be there for practice. We can't not have one person missing when a group is performing or a group is just practicing for a day. So in the morning we start at about 6:30 and wind up by around 8:30. Post 8:30 people take some time to change their clothes and have breakfast and all of it. Evenings post 4, so there's some break time. They have break time until 4:30 after classes. We start at 4:30 and go until about 8. But there have been days when the practice is continued until about 9:30. And some days when people have had to make, we had props and we got costumes stitched, so we had a lot of work happening for the costumes and for the props and all of it. So people had to stay back at friend's place or something. So through the night, people have worked on costumes, putting things together, traveling to places to get costumes fixed and props and all. I don't think there have been sleepless nights. I don't know how many nights people have gone without sleep. But when it comes to practice, I think we also consider the entire process. And the time we dedicated to academics has literally just been 9 to 4 when we are on campus. Apart from that, it's just been dance the last one whole month.
And about the injuries, how are you?
Samriddhi will speak, yes.
Oh God. Okay. So what happened was basically it was majorly like a stress pain that happened. It was a left knee injury. So I think a few days into practice, since it was very intense, it was dancing all the way. Even back in class, all the gaps that you get were just okay, dance. We'll do that, we'll do this. So that's exactly what was happening. And with all the things we were doing, be it classical, theme, non-theme, we even took part in duets and solos. So it was a lot that was happening at the same time. So when that was happening, I kind of injured my left leg, and it was very hard to walk. There were times where people have literally held me and dragged me through the corridors and stairs, and even in the basement they've literally put me on chairs. And the problem was, we had our solo and my knee was still in a very bad condition. I don't know what happened, but I was very determined that I had to take part. So I was very determined and keen on that. Lot of talks like, are you sure, do you want to do this and all of that. Like, no, I want to do this. I put my mind and heart into this. I will do it. Until the stage happened, carrying. I don't know what I did on stage. Nicely, I danced my heart out. I came back and I fell. People from SW have literally held my leg and I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, no, I don't know what's happening. So that's exactly what happened. It was very hard. And I don't know, I mean, these people have been there throughout. So the best part is, from the team, nobody said you can't do it. I think that was one thing that kept me, like, okay, I can do this. Yeah. So even be it Alisha, she was there. She's just like, please, you can do this, but take care of your leg. So that was that. I think that one thing kept me going. So
yeah, and with regards to injury, I feel like a lot of people were sick from our team. That was also one of the biggest setbacks we had. Because I think about 6 people got tested positive for dengue, different time periods. So like, we were constantly on a hunt for dancers, like much later after our auditions were over, when process had started also. Because every time one dancer backed out, we had to like put somebody else in that place. So it was getting very difficult with injuries and sicknesses and all.
We'll move on to the next question. Describe a time, since you take part in a lot of competitions, describe a time when you had to adapt to last minute changes and improvisations and how you were able to handle that.
This was throughout. This was Dhriti throughout. Because as I was just mentioning, everything happened in the last minute. The props happened, I think, one night before.
Yeah.
That was very last minute. And I think Rihanna's zip ripped sometime before we went on the stage. So we had to like pin things up and all. And that was like very challenging for non-theme specifically. For theme it was difficult because the same dancers we had performing for classical and for theme. And both the competitions happened on the same day. So we had only about half an hour to change from classical to theme, which is a completely different piece, which has a completely different dance form altogether. So we had to literally have 3-4 people with us who would literally like take things off of people, like all the jewelry, hair and all, because top to bottom everything was different. So everything was ripped out of them, and then new set of things were put on them, and they were just pushed on the stage.
Yeah. Amazing. So I have a question for Samriddhi. So since I have done my homework and I've seen that you've put in one of your Instagram stories that you feel that dance is an eternal internalization.
Oh yeah.
Can you please
Oh yeah. Okay, that you hit the spot over there. So that's, I think, over the years of whatever I've been learning and I've been practicing, especially from my gurus and all of that, I can't separate myself from dance. I cannot separate myself from dance, and that is never a possibility. I think it's the same for all of us over here. And I constantly use the term, like the phrase eternal internalization, because it's legit. It's you can't express dance without feeling it within you, and it's not a one-time thing. It's like an addiction, literally an addiction. You get into it, you cannot get out of it. It's constant, but it's always from here, and it makes you feel so happy that you're being there, and you just it's like a whole new thing. You get on stage, or you just even be it practice, you go there, the whole thing around you changes. All the things that are happening in your mind, all the preoccupied thoughts, nothing. It's just fresh. It's just so yeah.
Goosebumps moment.
As we continue the interview, I have a question for Tanushree. Yeah. You bagged the second place in the Indian classical solo in Darpan this year. Congratulations on that, by the way. So does this streak of winning put you in pressure to overcome and like, overachieve yourself each time?
So when it came to Dhriti, in the beginning, our first competition was the solo. There was a lot of pressure on all of us because we are predominantly classical dancers. Most of us, our main style is classical, and we love doing other dance forms, most of us. But so performing for the Indian classical solo, and that was the first competition for Darpan, and we're all first years, except Arshiya and couple of dancers in the classical team. All of us are first years. So Darpan on a whole was a whole entire new concept for us. It was very scary almost. So for me it was just, you're going on stage for the first time. Give it your all. Whatever happens, we'll figure it out and come out. So when it comes to pressure, there was a lot, and the winning streak was just happening, and none of us actually understood what's going on because there were like 2 competitions a week. So for us, winning, and then we used to forget about the win and practice for the next one because we're like, okay, winning happened, we'll figure it out later, we'll celebrate later, but first focus on the next one. And till now, I don't think I've processed our win for non-team or any of them because it's just like, oh my god, did it actually happen? Did we actually win? Because we are, and Dhriti is a first year team now. So it's like, did we actually win? Did it actually happen? It's still a lot to understand, and pressure from everywhere. It's like, oh, everyone knows Dhriti now, and we're like, yeah. So, yeah.
I'm sure we will not do this.
We haven't processed it.
Still is. We saw your non-theme classical performance, and what made you think of the intriguing idea of a painter entering his own artwork in the performance?
So that credit goes completely to our choreographers. We had hired a choreographer for theme as well as for non-theme. For classical, I did the choreography. And for non-theme, we had ex-Artistite from Banaraka campus who came to choreograph. Swasti and Siddharth and Medha. They came up with the whole idea of, they initially gave us an option between 2 songs to choose, and we actually chose the other song. And then they convinced us that there is a better idea they have, there's a better concept they have for non-theme choreography, which is why we did go in for the other song. Not very willingly initially, but later, once the process started and we were able to understand how things were from their end, we were able to like confidently proceed with it, and I think that credit goes to the answer.
So this is one question that I really wanted to ask, that your props during the non-theme classical dance were extremely detailed. Do you guys have a separate prop team?
Rihanna on the prop team.
So since you guys do not have a separate prop team, how do you manage to make time with your dance routines and performances and with the preparation of the props?
Yeah.
How do you guys have the time to do that?
As I was just saying, props happened overnight. And if you did realize, we performed, I think, the same piece, non-theme piece, again for another event, for the fun fiesta that happened. And our prop fell. And then we had 2 props. One was the frame that we had, which was initially shown to show how the painting is. And then it goes back like a boomerang and ends up in a painting, the same painting. But the painter jumps into the painting instead. So for that we had a frame, which broke eventually because last minute thing. And the entire prop thing happened overnight. So I think the last day before non-theme was so hectic for everyone because people had to go for rehearsals, finish classes, go to collect their costumes because they hadn't seen what their costumes looked like before. They had to go to collect their costumes. Once costumes were collected, through the night, I think they started at about 10 in the night and finished at 5 in the morning. They finished making the props and they had like an hour's sleep before they ran to college and like figure things out, have last few runs, put makeup on and go on stage. Literally they all came down to stage. I don't think they've been so excited for anything for the stage at all because I think we placed in solos, duets and groups. Groups for all the 3 criteria we fulfilled, all the 3 all the 3 dances we placed at least like once, right? But then I don't think anything hit as much as non-theme. because there was so much work, so much pressure. People were constantly thinking about what to do next, how to do things, how to just make sure that everything is right on stage. So much so that they all came out from stage and they didn't know what was happening. And the moment they said first place Dhriti, I don't think there was anything mattered to anybody at that time, because it was just not joy, it was just like there was an ocean that just hit us with happiness of sorts, because that's how much work went into it. The number of sleepless nights, the number of times each of them have gotten yelled at by me for not having food, for not sleeping enough, for like submitting their assignments a little later. So yeah.
So how do you brainstorm these ideas for props? So do you have a relation with the dance that you do and the props that you make? So how do you brainstorm these ideas?
Yeah, I believe that everything is connected in a dance, because you can't have props that don't go in with the piece. So everything is connected that way. Brainstorming as such, the choreographers give us a concept. We have to come up with whatever we're making. And I think that matter, Rihanna has to get full credit, because she went into the process of how to make it. And I remember watching this. So they took little videos of what's happening through the night when they're making the props and all, because all of them are sleepers, some entertainment they need. And I saw a video of how Tanu was going on, like, why are there only 4 circles coming and not 5? So like, I think everybody was constantly like breaking their heads to figure things out, and somehow I think that's how the team also came together, and I think that's how it should be.
And with this, we've come to an end of today's podcast. We thank Team Dhriti for joining us today on our podcast. And this is Prisha from News and Chuckles signing off. Until next time, guys. Thank you so much. All the best to News and Chuckles.